The Galactic Council had seen many wonders across its 10,000 member species, but nothing had prepared them for the human child named Hermione. She arrived at the Zenthari space station aboard a diplomatic vessel, no older than 8 standard cycles by human reckoning. Her small frame, covered in strange protective fabric her species called overalls, seemed impossibly fragile compared to the towering Zenthari guards who flanked the docking bay. Yet it was not the child herself that caused every security officer to reach for their plasma rifles. It was what followed behind her on a braided cord. The creature's scales shimmered like liquid mercury under the station's artificial lights. 6 legs, each ending in claws that could shear through reinforced duranium, clicked against the metal floor with an almost musical rhythm. Its 4 eyes, arranged in a square pattern on a head the size of a cargo container, swiveled independently, tracking every movement in the bay. A Kirathos predator, the apex hunter of Kyrath Prime, a world so hostile it had been designated as Extinction Class Zeta 9. By the void, Ambassador Threll whispered, his chitinous frame trembling. That's a shadow render. Hermione looked up at the assembled crowd of dignitaries and smiled, showing her flat, omnivorous teeth. "This is Buttons," she announced cheerfully, patting the creature's foreleg, which was roughly twice her height. "He's my best friend." The shadow render, Buttons, lowered its massive head and nuzzled against the child's shoulder with a gentleness that defied everything in the galactic database. According to every xenobiological record, Kirathos predators were incapable of domestication. They possessed intelligence, certainly, but it was the cold calculation of a perfect killing machine. They hunted in packs, brought down creatures 10 times their size, and had been known to breach military installations for sport. "Impossible," muttered Dr. Selnath, the station's chief xenobiologist. Her crystalline form pulsed with confused colors. The neural pathways required for bonding simply don't exist in that species. Hermione's father, Ambassador Marcus Granger, stepped forward. His weathered face carried the scars common to humans who had survived multiple conflict zones. "My daughter found Buttons injured in the acid marshes of Kyrath Prime. We were conducting resource surveys in the outer territories." "You allowed a child on a Class Zeta death world?" Threll's voice rose 3 octaves. "We're from Earth," Marcus replied, as if that explained everything. And perhaps it did. Earth, the universe's most infamous death world, a planet where 71% of the surface was covered in a substance that could kill most species through osmotic pressure alone, where the atmosphere contained enough oxygen to be classified as a fire hazard on most civilized worlds, where predators existed at every level of the food chain, and the dominant species had somehow decided to domesticate many of them. "The creature was dying," Hermione continued, pulling out a data pad that looked comically oversized in her small hands, "poisoned by thorium beetles. Its pack left it behind." She swiped through images showing the predator's treatment. "Daddy helped me build a detox chamber. It took 47 days, but Buttons got better." 47 days, Dr. Zelnath's mind reeled. The child had spent 47 days in close proximity to an apex predator from one of the galaxy's most dangerous worlds. Not in a cage, not behind barriers. She had treated it, cared for it. "The bonding occurred during recovery," Marcus explained. "Hermione never left his side. Fed him, cleaned his wounds, sang to him." "Sang?" Threll repeated weakly. "Earth songs." Hermione nodded enthusiastically. "He really likes Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Watch." She began humming a simple melody. The shadow render's eyes focused on the child and its massive body began to vibrate. A deep rumbling purr emanated from its chest cavity, a sound no Kirathos predator had ever been recorded making. It lowered itself to the ground, positioning its body as a barrier between Hermione and the assembled aliens, but its posture wasn't aggressive. It was protective. "This violates 17 safety protocols," a security officer stammered. "Actually," Dr. Zelnath said slowly, her scientific curiosity overriding her fear, "this is remarkable. May I approach?" Hermione looked at Buttons. "What do you think, buddy? Want to say hi?" The predator's eyes swiveled toward the crystalline scientist. For a long moment nothing happened. Then one massive claw extended, gently tapping the floor 3 times. "He says okay," Hermione translated, "but move slowly. He's still nervous around new people." As Dr. Zelnath cautiously approached, running scanners over the impossible duo, other species began to understand what they were witnessing. This wasn't domination through force or technology. This was something the humans called friendship, a concept most species reserved for their own kind. Hermione had taken the galaxy's most feared predator and shown it something it had never experienced. Kindness, patience, and unconditional care. In return, the creature had given its loyalty completely. How? Thrall finally asked. How did you know it would work? Hermione shrugged, a peculiarly human gesture. I didn't, but he was hurt and scared and alone. I've felt like that before, too. Everyone deserves a friend. Ambassador Marcus smiled at his daughter with obvious pride. Humans have a saying, every animal is just 3 meals away from being a pet. Though I think Hermione's proven it's more about compassion than calories. As the station slowly returned to normal operations, with buttons becoming an unlikely tourist attraction, word spread across the galactic network. A human child had done the impossible not through weapons or technology, but through something far more powerful. Empathy. The Zenthari added a new entry to their database that day. Under the Earth section, in bold letters appeared, Warning. Humans will attempt to befriend anything. Results unpredictable but usually effective. Hermione, meanwhile, was teaching Buttons how to play fetch with a plasma-resistant ball, laughing as the massive predator carefully placed it in her tiny hands, being cautious not to harm his best friend. After all, on a death world, even the children understood that sometimes the scariest monsters just needed someone to see past the claws and scales to the beating heart beneath.